Hello and welcome to The View from the IDB. I have the great pleasure of being here with Alfonso Prat-Gay, the Economy Minister of Argentina. So thank you for your time. I know you have a very busy schedule here in Nassau for this event. So first I want to ask you what this settlement with the holdouts means for the country. And then I would like to ask you about your efforts to raise capital in the international bond markets.
Well, it basically means that we regain access to the international market. This will allow us to plan through and to put in place our infrastructure projects throughout the country. It will allow us to finance what's left of the fiscal deficit. But more important than that, it means that Argentina is back in the international arena and in the international concert of nations. It just didn't make any sense for Argentina to claim that we were part of something that we were rejecting by our actions. So it was important for us to basically draw the line on it, put it behind us, and that's what we've done.
And so with the new administration led by Mauricio Macri, the country has settled around 5.8 or at least 5.8 billion with various groups of holders, which is obviously a major achievement. There is plenty of interest about Argentina from international investors, but obviously the challenges are many and varied. What are the key efforts that your ministry will concentrate on in the near future?
Well, if there weren't challenges, there wouldn't be interest. So, I mean, that's why the world is looking into Argentina, because there are many things to do, but because they are confident that we can do them. And we can use the help of the world to make them happen. And this is basically what the Macri administration is trying to do. We are undoing most of the policies of the previous administration. We spent a lot of time doing that in the first quarter of our administration. Some of the decisions and the measures that we've taken have had immediate impact, and one of those impacts was basically an increase in inflation. You know, once you unify the exchange rate market and you start, hiking utility prices because you're letting go subsidies that were given out by the previous administration to everyone, not for the poor, but to everyone. We knew that would have an impact on the price indices. That is right now our main concern, how to contain, the inflation implications of some of those measures, and how to basically protect the poor and the most vulnerable that are most exposed to some of those consequences. And we're putting important fiscal resources to protect them, and we're basically doing what needs to be done to bring inflation down in the medium run, which is work on the causes of inflation rather than on the symptoms or the consequences. Monetary policy, fiscal policy, and that's why we're very confident that by the second half of the year we'll see inflation coming down quite significantly.
From the current around 29%, 27%.
Yeah, we inherited a 28% tag. The measures that we've taken have had an impact of around maybe 5 or 6 annual points on the price index, but these are mainly transitory movements. So once these movements are out of the system, we hope for the inflation to fall. We have an inflation target for next year of between 12 and 17%, and we have targets for for the 4-year term of inflation falling to around 5% by 2019, and the fiscal deficit to disappear by 2019 as well.
So it's very ambitious measures, which are obviously very much needed.
It's the most we can do. We'd like to do more, but we've got lots of constraints on the political and on the social front. So we need to be careful and we need to strike a balance.
So now some of the challenges are domestic, obviously, things that the local administration can maneuver and change. Some others are external, such as Brazil and Brazil's current economic state. How concerned are you about them?
As you say, I mean, we pick neither the internal legacy nor the situation of our neighbors. I mean, we just take what we have to take. And of course, Brazil is a significant trade partner, not just trade, but in many other regards. And Brazil is going through a rough spot. 2 years in a row of quite intense recession. that is already having an impact on our economy. I mean, we calculate that this year's Brazil recession will probably cost us around 2 points worth of GDP, which we're not going to have. But well, that's what we got. We are working together with the Brazilian authorities. We're discussing issues on the trade front, on the infrastructure front. We're still working very hard with Mercosur for the medium run. We hope that we'll be ready to exchange offers with the European Union, such that we finally come to an agreement between Mercosur and the European Union. So, tough ride in the short run, but big opportunities for the medium run.
Where would you like to see Argentina be in 5 years from now?
Well, I think Argentina's got a massive potential. I mean, the world is aware of that. Sometimes we are not aware of it, but we know there's a lot of hope internally, and we'd like to see our country where it deserves to be. And more importantly, the one thing we're going to work on is to make sure that with time we make as many inroads as possible to ensure that our fight against poverty is eventually won. It's basically unacceptable that a country like Argentina still shows more than 30% of its population below the poverty line. And again, it was not our choice, but this is the thing we'll work on, and this is the evaluation that we'd like to have on our administration when it's over.
Minister Prat-Gay, thank you very much for your comments, and I let you go on to a very busy evening, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.